me hear you say ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da. Crazy how this thing called love, just what I've been dreaming of. And I can never figure out, oh, how you do the things you do. Is why I'm so in love with you. I like the way you make me smile. Boy, you give me butterflies. And when I look into your eyes, I'll see the future, me and you. That's why I wrote this song for you. I-L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. I-L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Just want you to know what I think of you. L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Baby, you've got what it takes to make your girl say L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. If I met you in another life and you asked me to be your wife, with grace and a smile I say, yeah, always now and forever. You be my one and only lover. Cause I like the way you make me smile. Boy, you give me butterflies. And when I look into your eyes, I'll see the future, me and you. That's why I wrote this song for you. I-L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. I-L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Just want you to know what I think of you. L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Baby, you've got what it takes to make your girl say L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba ba da.
Good morning, TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. Welcome to Attorney Commander J.R. Glapohkpa Chesson talk show. Today is March the 31st, 2023. We woke up this morning to the lower 30 degrees in Providence, Rhode Island. But be not dismayed. It's dark and cloudy, but the sun's supposed to be coming up sometime today. When? Check your weather, okay? But the high today might be in the 40s and upper and lower 50s. But whatever it is, take heed and govern yourselves accordingly. Let me put up my topic for today so we can see where we're going before we start our class this morning. Liberia and Liberians' past and current state of existence have been and are still a bitter pill to swallow. It is a bitter pill to swallow. Why? Because look at our country today. After nearly 50 years since our coup d'etat in 1980, our state of existence has not gotten any better. We went through a civil war that denigrated our countrymen, killed our people massively. we had the chance to bring our country back under Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. She tried the first term, the second term. She couldn't get a program through. Because in Africa, it's hard for a woman to lead. No matter how we try to polish it, she had difficulties in Liberia, especially after war, with all our intelligentsia abroad, all the intellects, all the educated, majority of the educated people abroad. She had a hard time. Now here we are, going on where she started, paying people $15,000 to come home and work a month. Why? Because they're not patriotic enough to swallow the bitter pill and come home and serve. They can't do it, so they got to come home and leave their family abroad. And we got to bear the consequences of supporting them. Why? Why? It's supposed to be a patriotic obligation for you to come and serve your country. Not for us to give you $15,000 a month to support you in Liberia and your family abroad. Man, our people have been so unfair to our country, man. We've been so unfair to our people in Liberia. I mean, the unfairness, the unjustness has been so tremendous. It hurts my heart. But you know, I'm a Congo boy. I can't talk. This is a countryman thing. They think in Liberia, a total countryman, that native man shit. They don't want no educated people being involved in this kind of thing here. So our people will suffer and die for nothing because our country government. Because people did things in the past that were not right. So our whole country will suffer for it today because we got these grown-up boys from the slums leading us. I know Akarius Gray very well. I know Solomon George very well. They didn't just born yesterday. Solomon George and Akarius Gray are old men. Akarius Gray is short and tight, but he damn old. He in his 60s or 60s. He older than me. I'm above my mid-60s. Akarius Gray is older than me or 1 year younger than me. So you don't pretend that these people leading you today are little children. They are old Paku Guna boys from the slums. That's why our country can't go nowhere today. I know them very well. I know Akarius Gray personally. I know Solomon George personally. They harassed me when I used to go in the ghetto. They harassed me. They always hated the Congo people. But I ain't going to change. I'm a Congo man. I ain't scared of nobody under the damn sun. I ain't scared of nobody. I am a Liberian, and I'm claiming my Liberian rights. I got to prove our country or our native to be a Liberian. No, I'm not doing that. That's my thing for my sister then to do. You know, let her go do that kind of thing. I got to prove nothing to be Liberian. I am a Liberian. My people build my nation. I ain't going to coward and change my name and go skate in the corner scared and things like that. No, I ain't going to do that. I ain't going to do that. We're going to meet as foes or friends on the battlefield. I ain't going to do that. We're going to meet like foes or friends on the battlefield. I ain't going to back down from y'all. Nobody scares me. I got one God, and I'm a true Christian. You bite me, I will kick you in the nuts. I ain't care. You bite me, I'm coming to decapitate you. I ain't playing with you because we can't go on with this insensitivity. We can't go on with this corruption, with this negativity in our society. We can't go on with it. Somebody got to stand up as a man with integrity and tell our people enough is damn well enough. Come to your senses. I know we've been traumatized. All of us being traumatized. All of us being affected by the war, the radical change in our country. We've been affected by it. You know, how do you go to bed one night and wake up in the morning, everything changed? People guns in your head, at your head, and telling you gotta die, killing your pa and ma and all these people. How do you deal with that kind of thing? Some people can't deal with it. And those are the things we've dealt with forever, man. And not only that, then after that, you wake up in the morning, our country has exploded in a full-blown war. How do you deal with that? You went to bed happy and sleeping, and as a child, you wake up next morning, your whole family gone, dispersed, everybody running helter-skelter. For life, how do you deal with that? Then you say something not wrong with our society. Something is wrong with our society, man. We are traumatized. We are traumatized, and people are taking advantage of our mental sickness. People taking advantage of it. When you traumatize, it's a mental state. Your mind is confused, discombobulated. And people can take advantage of that. People can break you down further. People can try to find your weakness and hurt you. Because in that state of confusion, you're weak. You're weak. And that's where we've been for nearly 40 years. We've been in a state of confusion. You know, talking about country and concord. Yeah, that existed forever. But that can't continue to exist to hold us down. Look at who the people stealing in our country now, that the very country people stealing. They're the greatest rogues we ever seen, man. You gotta admit the fact. It's a fact. No government in our history has ever stolen like these native governments. Samuel Doe, George Weah, and all the other people. Massive stealing. And above all, you sat down there and put your mulatto queen as president of our country and let her and her children rip off our nation. You know, I mean, we've lost our sense of who we are. We can't say we're Negro nation no more. We're not Negro nation no more. Look at all the people who voted for presidents and vice president. Our laws that kept us as a Negro nation have been shattered. The people today in Liberia don't even know how to read the laws. The people leading us, we're just floating by the grace of God. We're floating by the grace of God. And every day we come, it's the same situation. My correspondent in Liberia is trying to go to Monrovia. He's on his way. So that's why we haven't heard from him yet. But he's going to take care of some business and wants to talk to about where he's going and the situation that's happening there. But until I can hear from him, we're going to keep the conversation going. This is not my class. My class is after we talk for the second half of my presentation or do my class. And today my class is on patriotism because there's a need to talk about patriotism, what it means to us, how to differentiate it from nationalism and other things, you know. And what is nationalism? What is patriotism? What are those words? What do they mean to us? How do they change our lives? How do they impact our lives? You know, all the things bring reason to our minds. And you see, that's why I stay away from, I touch politics all the time, but I try to teach people because we need teachers in our society. Our young children need to learn. Yeah, they need to learn. And sometimes it's not only teaching them through formal learning, it's teaching them through the behavior of our leaders. They see it, but somebody got to rectify it. All the things that go on in our country that are wrong, our young people thinking it's right because there's nobody telling them that it's wrong. And we need Liberian people of knowledge and wisdom to go out there and say, no, it's wrong. It's wrong. And let me tell you, I'm not deceived by other Liberian people. When I talk things, I know what I'm talking. I wrote my thing to this morning about Akaris Gray and Solomon George. People telling me Akaris Gray wasn't born then. Are you crazy? That is tight bastard, man. Akaris Gray is a little dwarf. He's a tight old man. Akaris Gray older than 65-year-old. You don't BS me with things you don't know. Y'all can't see a tight bastard man and know that bastard man is tight. Akaris Gray. He's an old type paku. And look at that other one called Solomon George calling himself represented as a damn grown-up boy for Slipway. I know the boys. Those boys used to taunt me when I used to go in those areas. But they used to still keep their distance because they knew I was an athlete. I wouldn't hesitate to keep them in the gonads. I wasn't hesitant. So they used to taunt me, but they used to keep their distance. Yeah. Now all of them ministers, senators, and all of that. That's why our country can't G, our country can't hold, we just in a piece of shit. Yeah. Every time I talk about these guys, I get mad, man. I get mad because, you know, these people here, these are the people that lie about everything. They lie about the airplane coming. They lie about the highway. They lie about the 50 billion carbon emission thing. All they just lie. They lie about everything. And the part about it, they have no damn shame. Why? Because they are grown-up boys. They are grown-up boys. When they can't find the answer to things, make it up. Make it up. The people will eat it. Let me move my correspondent on, Mr. Samuel Wilker. Now, what's up?
Yeah, man. I came on not too long. I'm in a tight meeting with the bus certificate authority. So if you can give me another 10 minutes, I'll call you back. That's why I came on to let you know I'm in a tight meeting with them, trying to understand, to educate me on the issuing of the bus certificate and the process involved. So I will call you back.
Okay, don't stay too long now because you know my show is 1 hour.
Yeah, no, yeah. I'm looking at time.
Okay. Mr. Wilker will be back. That's what we wanted to talk about this morning, about the birth certificate, about the situation with the Ministry of Health or wherever they get birth certificate from. Because we've been hearing that people can't get birth certificate. People come from up country, they can't get birth certificate. It takes so long. There's so much corruption and corrupt practices delaying the process. So I told Sam he go in there to take care of his niece's thing this morning. I told him, yes, when you get there, call us. Let's learn about this process and why it's a delay. You'll see behind Sam High were dark in there. Those places are dark, man. That's a government agency. How can people work in those conditions? But anyway, you know, I don't want to start my lesson now, stop it when Sam comes on. So, you know, but these are the things we need to know as Liberians. Because right now, our schools are not teaching civics. Our teachers probably don't know nothing about Liberia no more. What do people know about Liberia? They don't know about Liberia. You see, even when men and me go back home, probably I got to go teach at the University of Liberia. Have to build the skills of my people up. Maybe go teach at the law school. We got problems, man. We got some serious problems in our society. We need teachers. We need educators. You know, where do we turn? Where do we turn? You know, even we get Peace Corps and all these people, they're not enough to fill the void. And how long will we depend on Peace Corps and foreigners to come and teach our children? And this is the same problem we're facing, man. This is the problem we're facing, my people. When we get foreigners to come and teach our children, their educational comprehension is not sound. It's not sound. Because we know all of us that went on a Peace Corps and all these things that taught us. There were some of them that loved us and taught us well. Others didn't teach us well. You know, others didn't teach us about our history and culture. You see, so some people go into organizations, and when they send them to certain areas, they have prejudices. And these prejudices prevent them from being professionals. How many of us have Peace Corps that they told us that Black Americans were lazy and were better than them and all of that? People told us that shit in school too, you know. That Black Americans, oh, were better than them. That's the first thing to tell you, oh, you're different. You're different, my man. You're different from the other Black people. No, we're not different. Don't let nobody fool you and tell you we're different. We're not different. We're not different. We got similar upbringing. We got similar history. Many of the things with Black Americans, similar to us in Liberia, we got similar shit. The only thing that differentiates us from Black America is that we have tribes. We have tribes. We don't only have the Congo people. We have 16 different tribes. But right now, you can see that our tribes understand their connection to Black America. We just got to remove the bitterness, the hatred of the past, and you'll see things will change for us. So we got to understand who we are. We're not different from other Black people. Our experiences may be different, but we are not different as people. We're not. We're not smarter. We're not better. No, it's just that conditions make us different. The African Americans here don't even know why they're different from Africans. They don't even know, except the white people show us in the hut and things like that. But our mentality is not different. The people here, the Blacks here, act just like the Blacks in Liberia. It's just that they're on a higher level of understanding. So for us to comprehend how they're behaving, it's hard for us because we shy away from them. But for us who understand Black American and Black American culture and history and everything, it's no different from us. They think they're different. They're not different. It's just that the experience is on a higher level than our experience. But it's the same damn experience. Enslavement. Enslavement is enslavement no matter where you slave the people. But under different conditions, slavery will be different. I keep telling you, why the white man is smarter than the Black man. It's nature. It's nature. If you are living in 0-degree temperature and you have to survive, God will give you the knowledge to survive. The African man is damn lazy because we had no work to do. Our survival risk was not as high as people living in snow area, people facing tsunami and all these kind of things. How many of us face tsunami in Africa? How many of us face tidal wave? How many of us face tornado? I never heard about that thing. We are protected in Africa. We are totally the kind of things people experience in these other nations. We do experience it in Africa. How many times you hear about tidal wave in Africa? Tsunami in Africa. How many times you hear about tsunami in Africa? Hardly ever. Yeah, rain, flood, landslide, maybe once or twice because of the rain and things like that. But no tsunami coming to take whole city away. When you ever heard of a tornado? come to wipe up whole town and village. When you ever heard about that in Africa? But when you come to this part of the world, you face tremendous dangers. Look at the windstorm, the people that have over here, man. Some of us never experienced that. Yeah, hurricane. We in our house, the wind come and blow the zinc off once in a while, heavy rain. But we don't experience half of the things the people on this side experience. So it's the God-given blessing to be smart, to live different from us, to be ingenious. That's why some of the things that people do on this side, that we do the same thing in Liberia and Africa, but on this side they do it easier. They have found a way to make it so easier, because when God make you smart to survive, He make you smart with everything. And that's why in Africa we are not smart, because we have nothing that really hamper our survival except tribalism, stupid things. That's what we do, all kind of stupid thing in Africa. Because we have no real nature risk that we take in Africa. How many times you hear about hurricane killing people in Africa? You don't hear that much. How many times you hear about tsunami or tornado in Africa? You don't hear that much. So we become lazy and complacent and not wanting to work. Look at how many people just sit down and drink and have fun all day. That's why our government relaxed, is spoiled, everything broken down. Because our standard of living is not as challenging as the standard of living of these people on the other side. 2 more minutes, Sam doesn't come, I will start my class. I'm just waiting for him to come so he can tell us what happened in Liberia. We know about these several people that came from Sierra Leone, including one officer, a border officer, that came to register and vote in Kima. They registered, but they arrested them at the voter with a registration card. So they're under interrogation right now because they want to know who transported them to the voter registration place. Who transported these foreigners? They say they were transported, but they don't want to tell who transported them. So they're under investigation. We got to find out. You know, these are the things that demonstrate fairness in the electoral process. You know, when government take the initiative to ensure fairness and justice and all of this. Okay? So Sam got 1 more minute. But these are the things that are necessary for us to see that government is taking the initiative to ensure that there is free and fair election in Liberia. You know, it makes us happy to hear our police stopping all these things, people doing investigation on the site, catching all the foreigners and things, and people who are not supposed to be registering or voting in our election. You know, this empowers us. Okay? Okay, whenever Sam comes on, you will come on, but let me start my class. You know, every time we talk about Liberia, we talk about our country, about how much we love our country, how much our country means to us, blah, blah, blah. When you think about all those things that encompass our love for country, our love for fellow Liberians, our love for everything Liberian, we call that patriotism. 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 Okay? We call the person who loves his country and has his country interest first and foremost a patriot. Okay? So the act of loving your country, the act of being involved with the interests of your country and your people and all of that, we term that as patriotism. And the people who behave like that, who love Liberia, who stand for Liberia and fight for Liberia, we call ourselves patriots. Okay? Those are those are terminologies you need to know, especially you young Liberian children in high school getting ready for college. Many of y'all don't know this. I spoke with one of the boys on one of the students, high school graduate in the senior class on Liberia campus there. He's not going to Liberia, but he wanted in one of the schools. He's a senior for one of the schools around there. He went on the Liberia campus to register, and I was interviewing him. And I asked him, you know what patriotism means? He didn't know it. He didn't know it. So let me tell you what patriotism is. Patriotism is the quality of being patriotic. It's the quality or devotion to and vigorous support for your country. Let me see, Mrs. Sam, what do you want?
Sorry. Anytime on the show, sorry, come on.
Yeah, but come on. So he's coming on now. So it's that love you have for your country, that devotion to your country, that vigorous support. What it means vigorous, strong support for your country. Okay? In other words, they say, in more formal words, they say patriotism. Let me talk with Sam. Sam, what's up?
Yeah. I'm at the Ministry of Health, the birth certificate section on the bypass, old maternity center.
So how is it? It's the old maternity center, right?
Yeah, you can see the building.
My people that right at the corner between the Capital Bypass and the road going to Jalatown down there. Maternity
Basa
center.
community in it. Yeah, the old maternity center.
Oh, maternity center. That place, many of us want to be treated, man.
Yeah.
It was a place. It was a hospital, and I remember plenty people went to maternity center, man. So what
Yeah.
is doing now? What is it? It's still under the Ministry of Health.
It's still under the Ministry of Health.
Yeah, what they got in that building now? What they got in those buildings?
Regarding equipment or stuff like that, it's an office. And where they do the processing of birth certificate.
So they don't have no hospital there no more?
No hospital. No hospital here.
That was
it's strictly for birth certificate.
That was a major hospital in Monrovia.
Yeah, those days.
Besides the JFK, this was the hospital. The technical center was there. It was busy for women, women and stuff like that, but they treated it for everything. We remember going to maternity center. Those brings back memories. So how is the situation there getting certificates?
Yeah, the process is kind of tedious, I would say. If they are doing the online registration also. If you want to stay in line, a long queue to spend the whole day, so you register online, and you are processed approximately 2 weeks.
Why would people spend the whole week there, whole day there, Sam? Why would people spend the whole day there?
The process is slow now. You got to go to interview and stuff like that. And many people, especially the aliens around West Africa, most of them are trooping to Liberia, and they want to obtain citizenship, so they got to be very careful, so they can scrutinize them.
So they got immigration there too?
Yeah, immigration here too, yeah. Immigration assigned at the place there. They do the interview, they all have to do the interview. And when it comes to adoption, that's money I'm trying to find out from the guy. And then the process, the change of name from Mary Peters to Mary John. So you got to go through the adoption process. And to adopt people in Liberia now, kids in Liberia now, you got to pay $1,500 cash in government revenues.
Why?
I'm not saying lawyer. That's a fee, and they pay the government revenues. Strict fee you paid in government revenues. $1,500 United States dollars.
People adopting a lot of people.
Yeah, this the adoption program is kind of widespread in Liberia, and there's human trafficking. So people, what government is saying that if it is less, most of the traffickers, will take a lot of children from here and taking it abroad. So it's too expensive. So the process will get a problem, in taking people children from here to other countries.
So paying money is that it will stop the children.
Yeah, that's why they're saying reduce it.
Oh man, come
Go to
on,
the type of child 1,500 per child
that's
plus
not right.
lawyers fees,
That's not right.
and other fees almost $2,000.
Not right.
You must pay the type of child
So to adopt my relatives, I gotta spend 1,500 for one person.
plus for almost 2,000 plus. So
That's not
there's informal adoption in Africa where you take a child and just change the child's name, and when it comes to the point where the child needs document, you gotta go through that process. That's the process we're going through now. And they send us to get a bus to change the child's name.
you see
But then I see getting to
all of that is bad because the government is terrible. I mean, how
yeah.
you charge people almost $2,000 to adopt when
Be like it used to be like three,
children
it
need
used to
to
be
be
like three,
adopted by Liberian people?
it used to be like $300-400 those days. I don't know why they had to step it up to 1,500. You
And they
know
think it would stop the trafficker from getting from adopting children. It would stop them.
that's what they're saying. That's their own strategy of reducing, human trafficking.
You see the
It's,
struggle
it's,
of the
it's,
police force and the security department. They're charging more money to steal. I mean, our country is just terrible, man. All that money they're charging, where it going? It's not going nowhere.
you don't go nowhere in somebody's pocket. It lands in somebody's pocket.
And you depriving Liberian children who really need help.
Yeah, you see.
Help, but because besides the traffickers, that's the job for police and security to track down these people and put them in jail. But what happened in Liberia? What happened to the woman that they caught trafficking the children that are friendly with Jefferson Koji? Did she go to jail?
We have not even heard about that woman. It was just on air the first second day. It was it.
And that was
It
it.
died down. Yeah.
So this woman already trafficking children. They caught her with the children. We had she friendly with Jefferson Koji. She can't go to jail. She running around Monrovia free. And she a foreigner, a white woman.
Honor the party's emblem. You are protected. Even if you do the worst thing in this country, you are protected. That's the kind of country we.
I mean,
Yeah.
how long can we go on like this, man? It's just depressing. It doesn't encourage people to come home.
Liberia is so messed up. The aliens around our border
I
are
don't
coming
think
to
they want
to,
people to
to
come home. Do they want people to come home? Because people come home, the government will change everything will change. They don't want people to come home. You
and
think,
that's
man,
difficult.
we have that same system? They're gonna have it, but they don't want
I'm
people
gonna
to
have
come.
it.
They don't want people to come home. The more they keep the country down and stealing and depressed, the
Mm-hmm.
people Tyrus Gray, they're talking about here, young man. What me at Tyrus Gray young? That old bastard man. That man harder than Mary Biscuit. Ain't no Mary Biscuit that was hard to crack. Carol Gray harder than Mary Biscuit. Then you talk about you young man. What kind of young man is a Carol Gray? Give me a break.
What about you?
They're the foodie or dumb stupid like bullshit.
I'm young.
But Sam, conclude. Let me start my class. Sam? Sam? Well, I guess I lost Sam. Let me just start my class. If you come back on, I will just tell him to conclude his thing. Today, my class is on patriotism. We're talking about patriotism. What is patriotism? It's that deep love you have for country. Not for ma, not for pa. You remember we talked about the love the last time? I told you they got different types of love. One of the most profound love we all know about is agape, fatherly love, family love. agape love. But you also have patriotism. That's a different kind of love. Than our love with sex, than our love for family, or than love for country. So you see how we differentiate the different type of love. In the church, and all the things, they got agape love, the love for family and father. Then in the political realm, we got patriotism, love for country, love for your people. That's a different kind of love. When you hear people talking about Liberia, I love my country. I would die for Liberia. Liberia is this. We got to do this. You can't do that for Liberia. It's not according to the constitution of our country. Those are patriots talking to that. Because when you love your country, you take every measure to ensure that your country is successful, that the future of your country is bright, that the people in your country abide by the constitutional laws that make your amalgamation profound, your coming together, your unity profound. But if you don't have patriotism, what are you to have in your country? So when you're a patriot, you are devoted to and vigorously support your country interests. Mostly when we talk about patriotism, we look at military, and what else? We look at military and exhortation of our troops and all those kind of things. That's where we look to patriotism. But patriotism is just general love for your country. And when you love your country, you can have good patriotism and you can have bad patriotism. Good patriotism is when we stand up for everything that is good for our country, the future of our country, the future of our children, the education, the standard of living, the economic standard of our country, the economic viability of future income for our people. All those things, when we seek the interests of our country, we are patriots. All of us don't have to seek the same interests. Some people we talk about the social welfare of the country, how the poor people suffering, and we need to get poor people. Just like in America, you see they got different groups. You got groups that advocate for dogs, group that advocates for people, group that advocate for children, group that advocate for sick. You got different people advocating for different things. Those are all patriots. They're patriots. They love our country. They love our people. They love the quality of living and life of American people. Everything American, even the dogs and the cats, they're Americans. And we love them. Look at how many people suffer in America. People still love their dogs and cats. And people die and will their cats millions and millions of dollars. We heard about that woman, Hempstead, I think her name was Hempstead, who willed her cat millions and millions of dollars. Her cat. Now her children or grandchildren, they were all alive. She didn't will them nothing. She willed everything to the cat. Maybe she felt her children should have achieved everything while she was alive. If they didn't get it while she was alive, they're not getting it while she's dead. People think differently. But patriots, just like patriots, are different. People have different interests that touch their hearts. But the foundation of everything is that everything that touches your heart is for the benefit of the country. The benefit of the country. So that's patriotism. And patriotism is good. It's good. Because patriots do not hate other people. We'll talk about that too. That's a differentiation. Because some people can go so deep in their love that they take it to the extreme. We're not talking about that kind of love. We're talking about that kind of love. That's a different kind of love. We put it on a different name. But right now we're talking about patriotism. Patriots do not disrespect other country and other peoples. They don't. All they do is they love their own country. They feel that the quality of life of people in their country should be better. The future of their children should be better. Everything in their country should be better. The quality of life, the quality of existence, the quality of association, the quality of relationship, whatever it is. They just feel that it should be better or best in their interest. But they're not comparing you. They may compare you to other countries, but that's on a childish level. But patriots don't really go against other countries or try to belittle other countries or try to bring other people down. No, patriots don't do that. Patriots are focused on their interests. Like when you hear me say, in all of Africa, I'm focused on Liberia. We got enough trouble. I don't got to worry about Ghana trouble or Sierra Leone trouble or Guinea trouble. No, my trouble is Liberia trouble. We got too much trouble in Liberia for me to worry about the rest of Africa. And secondly, every African country got intellects. Why would I leave my trouble in my country to worry about trouble in Ghana and Guinea and all of that? I can't do that. I can't do that. You see, and that's why they kill us when we start fighting for Africa. How you fight for Africa? Do the Ghanaians want you to fight for them? Do the Nigerians want you to fight for them? Do the South Africans want you to fight for them? Who are you to fight for those people? Who are you? People that are fighting for Africa. And the same Africans kill you because you can't fight for them. The people are French. The people are British. The people are Portuguese. Who are you going to fight for? I ain't stupid. I understand my limitations. And my limitation is around the 43,000 square miles that encompass Liberia. I ain't going out of Liberia to plead for other people or to fight for other people for what? When they got more intellects and erudite people than me, why am I going to talk for Ghanaians for? Look at in Ghana. Idris, the movie star, the big movie star, Idris Elba, talking about multi-billion dollar studio, acting studio in Ghana. Who doing it for Liberia? Nobody. We got nobody nowhere. How many Liberians in America are big actors and move up the big time? We got none. Sierra Leone got one. Ghana got one. We ain't got nobody in big time America here. We ain't got nobody. So who's going to help us in Liberia? Who's going to bring? Now you see when Idris Elba talking about bringing multi-million-dollar studio to Ghana, probably he's not bringing it to the government. You're looking at private investors. He's a movie star. He got other people in America he can connect with, and they put money together and build a multi-billion-dollar acting studio in Africa, in Ghana. They can do it. Ghana already has a studio industry called Hollywood. All they gotta do is enhance it, build it up, make it bigger and better. No, they can't change Hollywood. That's the name of the industry there. They got their guilds and everything already established. So whatever Idris Elba does, he has to work within that framework of Hollywood. So if they build a multi-million-dollar acting studio, you know, he got to be under the guild, the Actors Guild, and all those kind of things. You know, so they got to work together. Probably the government got to be involved. Because, you know, in Africa, everything the government got to be involved. If the government ain't involved, it ain't happening. You know, it's all about corruption and stealing. That's what government involved. that one of the major reasons government are getting involved in Africa is stealing. So we go back to the idea of patriotism. When you love your country, there is no boundary to things that you do to uplift your country and your people. Okay? So patriotism is good. It's good for people who understand patriotism. Now, we got to differentiate patriotism from the bad part of loving your country. And that bad part is called nationalism. That's where you have the Ku Klux Klan and all these people in America. That's patriotism to an extreme. Nationalism. Okay? That will differentiate patriotism from nationalism. Patriotism is good. Okay? People who love their country also love and respect other people's countries. That's patriotism. Nationalism is where your love for your country is so deep-rooted that you can influence other people to behave in ways that demonstrate superiority traits, that demonstrate negativity towards other people in other nations. When you talk about racism and all that kind of thing, you do nationalism. That's an extreme form of patriotism where it does not benefit other people, where you become so entrenched in your patriotism that it turns to like a mental sickness. You start dealing with superiority race, superior race, superior religion, superior all these things here. You know, then you despise other people. You put down other nations. Your nation is more superior than other nations. Your nation is better than other nations. That's when you head into nationalism. That can have an economic impact too. Because when countries proclaim themselves a nationalistic government, that means you're going to seize all the companies in your country and make them owned by the government. You're going to take over the means of production in your country. That's why most people don't like that word nationalism. Because when you go into nationalism, you go into a mental sickness. You go into extremism. You know, where you start talking about superiority and inferiority and race relation and all of that. No. You're getting crazy now. Okay, you're moving away from patriotism. Because patriotism respects all people in the country. They don't divide people in the country. When you're a patriot, you love your country. You love all your citizens. You love other people's nation. You respect them and honor them. But when you're a nationalist, you have moved from patriotism into a deep mental illness where you begin to look at yourself as superior to others. Your language, your religion, your race, all these kind of things. That's a negative type of patriotism. And most people avoid that. That's why when you hear about nation talking about nationalistic government, all that kind of thing, companies get scared. If you're in a country that says that they're nationalistic government, you get scared because in many countries, when people say the nationalistic government, the government takes over all the corporations. They nationalize all the corporations, make it government owned. You know, most of them lean towards communism and socialism and all the kind of isms that despise wealth ownership. You know, they say, oh, individuals can't own wealth, but one of the few. What country you go to, people don't own wealth. You see the deception about communism and socialism and all of that. You want to tell me Putin now a billionaire? Putin is a billionaire. All the people billionaires. Then they're talking about wealth of the common people. How will you have billions of dollars then you telling me I'm going to live like a commoner? That's asinine. That's deception, the greatest deception and lies. You know, That's what differentiates patriotism from nationalism. That's why we try to avoid nationalism. You know, any country that starts proclaiming itself nationalistic, companies and businesses start packing up to leave, because nobody wants you to just come and take over their company that they put their whole life money in and investment in. Then you just come and take it over, say you're nationalist, it's for the country. No, because people come to the country because of the free market, the opportunity to excel in their businesses. But if you come into nationalize people and take it over by the government, everything will fail. Look at Russia now. You can't compare Russia to America when it comes to productivity. No, you can't compare China to America when it comes. No. Their processes are faster because they are authoritarian. They don't debate things. They don't have a Congress that's got to sit down and debate laws and issues before the president can act. No. They sit down in the council and say, this is good, we're going to do bang, bang, we'll do it. That's why you see during COVID, those people could build a massive hospital in 3 days or 4 days. Will you ever see that happen? A massive hospital that people build in 3 days. Because they had the manpower and they had the authoritarian government that didn't have to debate things. But is it good or is it bad? Many of us, we get tired with government in our lives. Look at the people in China today. How they're locking them down for COVID-19 and the people against that. Totally. But they can't go nowhere because they're under authoritarian government. Look at America, man. People dying by the hundreds of thousands of people saying they're not taking enough vaccination. Go to hell. Don't come to my house. Don't come around me. I got my gun. You come around me with COVID-19, I will shoot you. Look at the difference. Individual freedom versus authoritarian government. Okay, we'll talk more about this, but just remember you got two things. You got patriotism, which is love for your country, respect for other people in other countries, but deep love for your country. Wanting to see your country excel. Want to see your children get better standard of living. Want to see the general quality of life of your country better. That's patriotism. Then you have the negative side of patriotism, which is nationalism, where people get so entrenched in their love for their country, they go crazy and start talking about race superiority, country superiority, flag superiority, coming down to the petty idiosyncrasy bullshit. We don't need that, okay? We need patriots. So people look to patriots as the foundation to any nation. The people are the foundation to any nation. If you don't have people, you don't have no nation. You can have all the laws, if nobody to enforce it with, how you enforce the laws? So we are the foundation to everything in our country. And we must understand where we stand as Liberian people. Because when we are patriots, we are not afraid to express our rights. We are not afraid to stand up for our constitution and laws. We are not afraid to demand that our officials obey our laws. And as patriots, we know love for country is different from love for individuals. There is no place for love for individuals when it comes to patriotism. We stand for our country. Everybody else got to fall in place and follow the constitution and laws of our nation. My class is done. Aluta continua. Have a good day, my people. Today is Friday, TGIF. I'll see you tomorrow morning before we take the weekend off. Stay safe. Don't do what I wouldn't want you to do. And if you do, stay far away from me, please. I got enough trouble. I got enough problem. I need nothing else. Okay? Bye-bye. I'll talk to you later.